What's up, guys? It's Jason with Tattooed Car Culture. We are here with Lucky, who is the proud owner of this beautiful Scatpack. It is far from stock. I mean, in my opinion, this thing is definitely a sleeper. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, you can see the stance on this thing and know that this thing means business, but it's just such a beautiful car. Before we even get into the car, look at that sunset. Would you guys just look at it? Just look at it.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a backdrop to a movie or something, but nope. Southern California, and that haze that you see is a good old California wildfire. So yeah, without further ado, Lucky, my man, tell us about this beautiful beast that you have.
So it's a 2019 Scatpack 392, or was. Nothing crazy done to the outside. The drag setup that we set up was done once we did the engine, but originally this had a matching set to go on the back. I'd put the Black Diamond BD18s. Shout out to my guy Todd and Mike that put me into Black Diamond and referred those wheels to me. They're over at Wheel and Tire Connection in Irvine.
So are they they're 20s up front, correct?
Yeah, 20s up front, and they had 20s in the back. These are 9.5 wide, and then on the back I did 11 wide, and they were 315s.
Yeah, let's look at that setup. I mean, that is all business in the back right there.
So now this is a 17-inch Raystar drag radial with Mickey Thompson sitting on 305s.
Are you running this setup all the time?
All the time, 24 hours, 7 days.
Dedication. Take notes, people.
Yeah, dancing shoes all the time. Other than that, just tinted, you know, the reflectors and stuff like that.
I love the gold accents too. I mean, I don't know if we really touched on that, but I love the fact that you did the gold Brembos and then you just kind of tied in the gold accents with the rest of the vehicle. Very nice touch. What inspired you to do that? Because not too many people run black and gold.
Honestly, the car came like this when I bought it. It had the gold Brembos. This stripe was actually silver.
Okay.
And that was the only silver part of the car. Everything else was black. The interior is all black with some gold stitching that kind of tied it all together. Other than that, the car was relatively stock on the exterior.
Are you going to keep this color scheme for a while? Or?
Absolutely. The black and gold is just, it receives a lot of compliments. I was never really big about it either, and it just kind of became what it is. But other than that, you know, tinted windshield, nobody sees you coming, and 5% all the way around.
No one sees him coming, but they hear him from like 5 miles away. Did you guys hear this car rolling in?
Yeah, exactly. You won't see me, but you'll hear me for sure. Other than that, man, it's as bone stock as it gets.
Now let's briefly touch on exhaust. I love the fact, I mean, you're running carbon tips,
Yep,
right?
just carbon tips.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy, Martin.
SP MOPAR?
Yep, SP MOPAR out of Menifee. That hooked me up just a couple days ago on these. He's the man. Hooked me up super last minute too. I woke up his whole neighborhood. Showing up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Been there, done that. You running mufflers too?
It has its rear mufflers.
Yeah.
All I did was, just when I originally worked on the car, I had the resonators cut off like when I first got it, just to make it louder, because it sounded like and then I had long tubes installed shortly after, and then we changed out the long tubes that I had installed to the ones that we now have.
So what long tubes are you running right now?
Right now I'm running the Cook's headers.
Oh, okay. Do you like them as far as like clearance is concerned and all that?
So they do scrape. They do scrape just a little bit. RTB exhaust.
Yeah.
In Gardena. They did the install, hooked me up fat when we did that. The video is actually, there's a video of this car with the install on their Instagram page when they did it, and it sounds incredible.
Dope.
When it was still like on pump gas and all of that stuff.
Oh, you know, so long ago, back when it was like on pump gas, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I only got the car back in December, so
dope.
There's been a lot that's gone into it since.
I mean, let's give the viewers what they want, so let's go ahead and pop the hood. I'm like a kid on Christmas. You know that momentary feeling right before you open your presents from, oh my goodness. Okay, so obviously I've seen some of your progress on Instagram and whatnot, but I mean, shoot, man, I don't even know where we start with this thing. So like, just tell me a little bit about the engine itself.
There's a story that leads to kind of how this all transpired. Originally, I got this stupid idea that I was just going to supercharge my 392. You know, kind of what every guy that has a Scatpack thinks about doing, and goes online, looks at ProCharger, and they sell a kit for a P1 SE kit that you can just bolt on and send it on its way. That's what I did. I hit up a shop in Costa Mesa and ordered the kit through them. Came with the intercooler and everything like that, kind of the same housing and stuff like that as of the D1. And They did the install. They threw a Diablo tuner on it. Had it running on a conservative tune at like 7 pounds of boost. So it was cool, you know. It was fast, and it was super exciting driving that thing home. But you know, it was in the back of my mind that I was like, this is stupid, you know, and I need to whatever I'm doing, it's gonna blow.
Right.
What I'm doing, because I mean, I got a lead foot, and I wasn't like punching it all the time, but
still with stock internals, I mean, there's only so much you can push it.
And that the trans on these 392s is super when it gets up to 600 horsepower. So you hit that cap really fast when you add a supercharger. And I got into looking around at other shops to get a tune done to make sure the car was actually operating to its potential with the supercharger in. You know, I was hitting up and looking at every Hemi performance shop in Southern California that I could find. Literally no one could just simply give me an appointment, call me back, or just give me a straight up answer like, I don't want your money. Super fed up with just simply trying to get an appointment. You know, these guys make so much money and they can't hire someone or a system to just simply log appointments down for months or years out. These guys are busy, and that's all great, but you know, people are paying for work. So, you know, I was looking around, found SRT AUTOWORKS in Phoenix. You know, I call these guys up. I talked to their shop manager, Jenny. First thing she asked me right out of the gate after I asked her about tuning my car, she's like, are your internals forged? I said no. She's like, we won't touch your car, because you're gonna go out and we'll tune your car to its potential.
Yeah.
You're gonna go out, you're gonna blow your
and then it's gonna be on them. Yeah.
Hey, why'd you put me in this position? So she's like, what's the ultimate goal of the car? I'm like, I don't really know. And it's kind of a thing. Every time everybody sees this, they're like, why don't you just get a Hellcat? Eat your stock Hellcat for breakfast. You know, everyone's, you know, it's a mixture of views or whatever.
Right.
Everybody has their own lift, but you know, I've never been in a position to do something like this before. So talk to me, and she's like, well, we've done it before. We turned a Scat into an 1100 horsepower daily driver. And I was like, you know what? Let's do that.
Right.
He's like, you're
box
honestly
checked.
She's like, you got to forge your internals. You have to, you know, rebuild your trans. You're already headed down that path. So I was like, okay. So they sent me a quote over, and I was like, let's get it going. We rebuilt the 392 into a 426 stroker kit. Tommy, the owner, had my block painted gold. Just the whole gold thing kind of came to life.
I didn't even notice that at first. That's crazy.
Had my block custom painted just to match the rest of the car.
I love that though. I mean, talk about attention to detail. I mean, again, I didn't even catch that at first glance, and that is so dope.
Yeah, you'll pop a hood on a Hellcat and it's orange. And it was funny, when I went to go drop the car off, I was like, my block's gonna be orange?
Right.
He's like, what color you want it? I was like, I want it black, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. Sure enough, a block shows up and he's like, surprise, you got a gold block. You know, so it's a 426 stroker, 7 liter, still an 8-speed. Same trans is rebuilt, Southern hot rod. You know, we sent it out, built it out, War Viking trans. Did a triple pump, 4 Innovations fuel system running on full E85. We sent the Pro Charger out and had it rebuilt into the D1, currently running 18 pounds of boost.
Holy mother.
Yeah. The intake manifold wasn't even on my radar. Tommy was like, hey, look at this.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. He's like, that'll just be the candy on top of your build. Demon Performance billet CNC cut intake manifold.
Yeah. Talk about automotive jewelry. I mean, this is just next level right here.
That was just the icing on the cake. You know, SRT AUTOWORKS, they make their own custom catch cans as well. It all kind of just tied everything together. Intercooler was pulled out, got a race intercooler put in, and it's now like literally top to bottom. It's a monster. And literally that's the first thing you hear coming down the street. Like, that intercooler is louder than the car itself.
And so you mentioned Cook's headers, right?
Cook's headers, 3 to 2 inch pipes, catless. That's literally the gist of it.
So from a time frame perspective, I mean, right now we're in September of 2020. So when did you have this build completed?
I'm in a car club, which is MOPAR SoCal.
Dope.
Big group that has a Southern California hold, basically, and it's all age groups. It's all simply just a bunch of car enthusiasts that, you know, love their Mopars. You know, we don't race, we don't do takeovers, we don't do any of that. We just do cruises, dinners, you know, hang out. help each other work on each other's cars. That's about it. And it's super family oriented. Dropped the car off on July 13th, and we had our first annual Vegas run the last weekend of August. So when I dropped the car off, I told Tommy and Jenny that, like, whatever happens, like, I need the car
by that date. Yeah.
I daily drive a Hellcat, but I want my car for Vegas. That was the time frame. So literally in 7 weeks, these guys cranked this thing out.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So, I mean, you've relatively just got this car back, you know, up to a point. What is the next step? I mean, are you planning on doing like some track days with it? Is there another aspect of your build that you want to achieve? Are you happy with where it is?
Right now, it's tuned. It's conservatively tuned. It's actually going back at the end of the month back to Phoenix to get retuned. All of this plastic piping is going to get changed out to hard piping. So we're going to refab this box and things like that to make it a solid 4-inch to 4-inch inlet into this, because right now, like, it goes 4 to 3-inch. We might even redirect this guy just because it's still breathing in hot air.
Right.
It's got its first actual race day out in Gila Bend, Arizona, October 24th and 25th. No fly zone. It's a half-mile airstrip, and that's where it'll be running first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Man, what a dope story, Lucky. So what about the suspension? I don't know if we briefly touched on it or not, but is it stock springs or what is it?
No, we did 1320 springs all the way around, and when it pulls, it just dumps the back and it wants to lift the front up. So we had those installed.
Are you happy with the setup?
Absolutely. It rides super smooth, man.
Man, I'm excited to see when this thing eventually hits the drag strip. I mean, I know you mentioned the airstrip and whatever else, but man, maybe take it to Bakersfield or something, you know, like a decent California track or something, see what it does, you know?
Yeah, there's actually December 5th at Famoso Speedway. There's Who's Got the Fastest Hellcat on December 5th. So we'll be rolling out there as well with SRT AUTOWORKS.
Well, I love that track. I mean, that track I feel is the best prepped track in all of California. If you want to know what type of numbers this thing's going to put it down, that's the track to do it, you know? All right, guys, so I will leave Lucky's Instagram in the description, so make sure you guys go show some love, give his build a follow. Just a rad build and a really super cool and humble dude. So Lucky, I really just appreciate you for coming out and, you know, showing the viewers your car, man. Really appreciate you, you know? All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for this episode. Please remember to hit that follow, AKA subscribe button. And as always, be unique, stay humble, and God bless. Peace.